You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Simply. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu just sabotaging you.
Yep. He sure did.
Hijacking.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula.
The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim, you're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
Get it? Got it.
Tonight, we witness the fallout from Slammiversary. We continue to forge new legacies and usher in more history as the first ever TNA Knockouts television champion will be crowned with the kickoff of this 16-woman knockout tournament, including some NXT. And so much more as we look at all the fallout from the changes that happened with the titles at Slammiversary. As tonight, the Simply Reliable Studios brings you a special live watch-along presentation of tonight's episode of TNA Impact Wrestling. So welcome everybody to the Simply Reliable Studios and welcome once again into the conversation and the reactions. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back in here once again to the Simply Reliable Studios. You know what this is, for I am the Simple Man of the Simple Brand, the voice of the rest. We're grateful for all things professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noah Foster. So thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal the passions, it's as simple as that. Again, we got a studded card tonight, as I talked about. Tonight kicks off the Knockout Television Championship Tournament, and we will have two matches regarding it. Tasha Steelz, former TNA Knockouts World Champion, takes on Mara Sadé, and Heather by Elegance will be taking on the Bunny, Allie, as of course we'll see who advances. We also, of course, have a brand new TNA Knockouts World Champion that will be gracing the stage as the Angel of the Ring, the Dark Angel, it seems. But hey, it led to dividends, so there you go. Zaya Brookside will be on air live tonight, as well as the new TNA World Champion, Nick Nemeth. The system failed, but the system is still working, as the Edwards will go one-on-one against the youngest in charge, Leon Slater. We'll see Ricky Sosa tonight after his win against Eric Young. And we also have the lesser Nemeth versus Casey Navarro, who hopefully will bring us to promise. As of course, right now, if you're watching with me on either AMC, I apologize for you. And I'm looking at TNA Plus app. We are, of course, looking at the fallout with this highlight package from Slammiversary. And I want to remind you people again, thank you so much for tuning in everything we covered this weekend due to priorities of our passions and limited budgeting and availability of streaming services. TNA Slammiversary was not covered live, but I did see the whole show thanks to my bruv from another mother that was able to buy it. If you all want a retro watch of TNA Slammiversary, we might do that here in the near future at Simply Reliable Studios. But considering it is America's 250th anniversary this weekend, we may actually bring you coverage of NXT TV for what it's worth, which isn't much. Maybe a hot dog and a handshake. Because the Great American Bash also happened this past weekend, and we might cover that. And yes, this is non-live episode of TNA Impact. So please, if you've already seen the results and you read in the dirt sheets, why do you do that? Protect your mentality. Please remain hashtag spoiler free. As of course, we have a brand new TNA Knockouts World Champion as Zaya Brookside beat Lei Ling Lee. Literally, Mike Santana died for this as Nick Nemeth took him into the danger zone by any means necessary and shenanigans, become a 2-time TNA World Champion. And of course, the Hardys are once again back on top of the TNA Tag Division, and Moose finally beat the system. Let's see what kicks things off here tonight on TNA Impact. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've actually watched one of these episodes, but shout out to the women. And the fact that TNA for the first time in a long time felt like a TNA wrestling event, not a NXT globalized takeover fest. Anything less than a takeover. Of course, Lana Black, Indy Hartwell, and Mara Sadé were involved in triple threat action on the Countdown to Slammiversary. And Lana Black did get the win. And Lana Black, of course, has her eyes set on gold, possibly becoming the first ever Knockouts Television Champion. As they are in Albany, New York, apparently, for this edition of TNA Thursday Night Impact. And of course, we are now bound for glory in TNA Wrestling, the last and the biggest pay-per-view of the year, where, of course, we will see Amazing Red, Conan, and ODB inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. Well, at least we're kicking off with the bench warmer. We kick things off with the little brother of the TNA World Champion, Ryan Nemeth, who has literally seen stars in his eyes, not just to compete right now, but looks like he's just in the nines, might be kicking things off with a TNA World Championship celebration, or just him bragging about how his big brother won the TNA World Championship. Again, shout out to Tom Hennigan and Matthew Weber at ringside. And again, thank you for those that are tuning in. I am the Seminole Foster, the voice of their SRS, the Simple Apple Studios here. Pretty much play-by-play for all the biggest shows they put me on contract with. And think about those that tuned in yesterday on Canada Day with me and the Canadian Connection, those two crazy Canucks, as we covered AEW Dynamite. And we'll be back next week, Wednesday, covering AEW Dynamite Beach Break. All right, let's see what the lesson Nemeth has to say here. As I figured, he is introducing the new TNA World Champion. Oh my gosh, this guy freaking sounds worse than the secretary from Monsters, Inc. I said what I said. $65,000 years? This dude's purely failed math class. Blonde and hairline is literally wrecking his brain. There it is. Big brother. Oh, boy. Well, he finally said his name. Jesus. And of course, Nick Nemeth now has used Slammiversary 2 times to lead him back to holding the TNA World Championship. It was 2 years ago at Slammiversary where Nick Nemeth was able to outlast a 6-way eliminator challenge, taking Kazarian to the danger zone. And as of this Sunday, Nick Nemeth is now a 2-time TNA World Champion, taking Mike Santana into the danger zone and basically out of TNA Wrestling. The show-off is here to show the world and prove once again why he is that damn good. And Nick Nemeth, for all the braggadocious arrogance, he continues forward to prove it. Once again, the face of TNA Wrestling. And of course, he called his shot to earn that match this past Sunday and used that shot, quite literally, Brandon Mike Santana over the head, who was fighting to the point of unconsciousness as he tried to spin the block one too many times, and Nick Nemeth caught him off guard. And ultimately, that was the Achilles heel that led to the wanted man bringing us back forward into the danger zone with him holding the gold. Well, let's see what the new world champion has to say. Almost as good as he looks. Everybody's talking about Slammiversary. That roster knocked out of the park. I mean, for what this roster has left, you all did a pretty damn good job. But flop now is still bathroom break for me. Not worthy of pay-per-view. Spread gossip and lies and rumors. Talk about things in the locker room. Secret areas. Discuss my body count. What do you mean by that? Name some names. Who's he trying to name here? Apparently, there is a scroll. John Cena, Randy Orton, Ultimate Dragon, Kane. What is this? All your favorite pros that I put down. Oh, okay. So, yeah, WWE, NXT, TNA. There's Rey Mysterio. There's Joe Hendry. Ultimate Dragon. Kane. Evan Bourne, Cody Rhodes. Bobby Roode. Jeff Hardy. Bobby Roode's always going to be a better champion than you. Rey Mysterio. Samoa Joe. Said delicious. Danny Inferno. Matt Cardona. Zack Ryder. Johnny Nitro. Johnny TV. Johnny Mundo. Johnny Cena. And John Cena. Sorry, Gino. A couple of guys in high school to call. I love the fact that his list had 5 different names for Johnny Blank. What? Oh, good. Case Navarro's out here to interrupt the Nemeth. Case Navarro's a little bit upset. Case Navarro's not digging what Nick Nemeth's doing. Right, never what would you have? That is saying, we're arguing with a child here. Here's Navarro, of course, has been working with Nick Nemeth in the past. And Nick Nemeth endorsing Case Navarro as a good kid. Basically saying Casey and Ryan need to get out of the system and fight each other tonight. Huh. Put it behind us and move on. And get us all as champions. And apparently he's going to go to Daria Ray and see if he can get that match tonight. And that's the most important thing in the world. Nick Nemeth, egomaniac. Only for the knockouts, Charles. Only for the knockouts. But I'll tell you right now, and I don't give a damn what JJ thinks. If a certain wrestler loses tonight, you're not seeing me cover TNA Impact anymore until the actual pay-per-view. As Nick Nemeth calls himself the best damn professional wrestler, it dares anyone to challenge him and be added to this everlasting list. Nick Nemeth calls himself the greatest and basically telling the crowd, you all bow down to the wanted man, your TNA World Champion, Nick Nemeth. Well, that's definitely an opening statement and declaration. As Nick Nemeth tries to keep the children in line and his little brother in Case Navarro and looks to set these two up with a one-on-one match tonight as we wonder if anyone else will step forward tonight for the TNA World title. But clearly, Nick Nemeth has plans for him, Case Navarro, and Ryan Nemeth to rule TNA together and all be champions. As we go backstage with the lovely Gia Miller, who's with Leon Slater. Of course, the younger's in charge. Thought about, of course, Slammiversary was successful. And, of course, Cedric Alexander, like a thief in the night, seized the title while he was on the mat. And now he's facing Cedric's partner, Eddie Edwards, the system. Of course, not the first time that Leon Slater has taken on Eddie Edwards either. He did. Leon Slater saying he's not done with Cedric Alexander. Leon Slater, ironclad promising he's coming back for that title. But he has to start defeating people where he's been, where he needs to go. And Eddie Edwards has been there as a former TNA World Champion. And calling out Eddie Edwards a disgusting pick of a human being. And he can't wait to kick his ass tonight. Leon Slater still calling himself to face the X Division. They're not going to argue. And if he wants to be the future face of TNA, and if he wants to do that, he has to start by knocking off scum like Eddie Edwards. And it starts tonight. Leon Slater, extremely confident, looking to climb a literal proverbial ladder to success. Can he start off tonight against a former TNA World Champion, Eddie Edwards? And of course, like I said, we will hear from the brand new TNA Knockouts World Champion, Zaya Brookside. Also, the TNA Knockouts Television Tournament kicks off tonight as the Bunny, Allie, takes on Heather by Elegance after, of course, Demon X Bunny sees the Elegance brand's TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. But coming up next, the tournament kicks off with a lot of attitude as Tasha Steelz goes one-on-one with Mara Sadé. Can the one who beat the greatest of them all become the greatest in her own mind, beat Mara Sadé tonight and punch her ticket forward in the Knockouts Television Tournament? We'll follow this commercial break. F Television, F streaming services. As of course here, it's like TNA, we'll be right back. Maybe I should do that. You know what? I think I am going to do that. Folks, we'll be right back when TNA resumes after this commercial break. Stay tuned. And welcome back to TNA Wrestling as at Slammiversary. TNA Hall of Famer Tracy Brooks introduced to us a new legacy for the Knockouts to create history as we return to the kickoff for the TNA Knockouts Television Championship Tournament. So let's go ahead and, of course, look at this glorious belt that was presented after the Countdown Triple Threat Knockouts match as Mara Sadé and Tasha Steelz. This is not their first ever one-on-one encounter. And again, folks, here's the entire bracket. If you want to try and pick a name who you believe will be the first TNA Knockouts Television Champion. And by the way, this title will be exclusively defended on TNA Impact Television only. As we go begin the tournament, we check back with the broadcast commentary colleague, Gia Miller. Or Mackenzie Mitchell in the ring, excuse me. All right, here we go. For an Ali, you may trust as he is still the TNA International Champion. But do you trust Tasha Steelz to be the face of the Knockouts on weekly television? Tasha Steelz, by the way, former TNA Knockouts World Champion, of course, long-standing member of the TNA locker room, as well as the Order 4's prime secretary, propaganda machine, voice of reason, it seems, but has not held gold here in TNA since 2022. Yeah, look, we got a little bit of backstage interview here. And one thing that Mara's no stranger to. Still calling herself the greatest to beat the greatest. And according to her, Mara Sadé will be the first of many opponents to answer to Mother. That's M-U-V-A, by the way, folks, in case you're wondering. And of course, Mara Sadé, who's already been endorsed by the Hardys, one of the newer mainstays here in TNA Wrestling. And of course, we just saw Mara Sadé this past Sunday involved at Slammiversary, where she's been primarily rolling alongside Demon X Bunny, also coming off still that great win at Sacrifice against Elena Black, another woman in this tournament back at Sacrifice. The gravity of the situation, though, could really lead to somebody really coming forward in the Knockouts division on their own. And of course, Tasha Steelz and Mara Sadé, no love lost with these two freaking Hellcats. The marathon is on, apparently, to Mara Sadé. The first time these two faced each other, by the way, was back last year in August on TNA Impact. It's a really interesting field for this tournament, considering we got independent on. Apparently, the Knockouts division not deep enough cover. 2 count only without Bomb and NXT to steal another championship. Another schoolgirl roll-up, getting a 2 count on Tasha Steelz. Jackknife float over, covered by Tasha Steelz again. Gets a quick 2 count here. Referee Franco Stowe. The flash pick happen anywhere here. Both of these women looking for the win early. And calling for a timeout already, as Tasha Steelz might be a little bit thrown off for a game here. And of course, this title again, you think about the legacy of the Knockouts division. That's been a mainstay in TNA Wrestling since 2008. Now there will always be a weekly presence to focus on pursuing weekly on television itself. Oh, man. Open pawn strike to Tasha Steelz. And that been shoving up Mustafa Ali, Special Agent Zero, who was instrumental in Ali retaining that international title. And the Great Hands, who, of course, lost out on the TNA. Oh! Tag Team Championships. Nice running step-up drop kick by Mara Sadé to Tasha Steelz. And good to see Matt Helms, and also, again, Charles, good to see you in the chat. Doing all right, giving the Knockouts a little bit of shine, giving TNA a chance to remind me why they are TNA Wrestling. And overall, again, they still have horrible commercial breaks, but overall, it's been a subtle start, and it looks like we're preparing for a match with a lesser Nemeth versus Case Navarro. as Nick Nemeth wants these two to play better together and maybe both go after championships together. And drop face first on the apron goes Mara Sadé with Tasha Steelz taking out her foot. And against the come this evening, more Knockouts Television Championship Tournament matchups. Heather by Elegance versus the Bunny, Allie. And also, of course, the winner of this match will move on and will have waiting for them, of course, either, as you see by this bracket, Heather by Elegance or the Bunny. As tonight, we focus primarily on the bottom right-hand corner of this bracket. And still to come tonight, we also will hear from the brand new TNA Knockouts World Champions, our Brookside PK. And that match made official with Nemeth and Casey. The cover by Tasha gets a 2 count on the far leg. And Nick Nemeth, the TNA World Champion, trying to tell his little brother and his little pupil to get along with each other. Accolade being applied now by Tasha Steelz. And the mother right now shutting things down and trying to discipline who she probably deems a child in this business. And Tasha Steelz, of course, fire and flavor, former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion, former TNA World Champion. She would be the Grand Slam if she was to win this TNA Knockouts Television Championship. Been involved in this business now for over a decade, trained by Damian Adams and Kevin Knight out of IWF Wrestling School. The short-range clothesline is taking out Mara Sadé here in the short run. It feels like to me, though, that I do think the Knockouts might be a little bit excited for this. Oh, wow. Takeover into the Falcon Arrows that done the deal. Gets a 2 count on Mara Sadé. And, of course, television championships. Nothing new to professional wrestling as long as you've seen them. They've always represented networks. They've always been a spokesperson to who represents your brand. It's almost like literally your own ringing endorsement for why a company should literally have you on the marquee on the front of their billboards. Tasha Steelz going for broke with a big splash, hitting nothing but canvas. And Mara Sadé with a critical moment here to capitalize now. Slowly getting back up to her feet with the assistance of the ropes. Now goes in the corner, and Tasha Steelz, nasty landing, but just avoids collision with the ring post. Now, Tasha Steelz here might be favoring her left shoulder. Anyone can ill for an injury here with this first-time opportunity. And Mara Sadé, slingshot plunger, wiping out Tasha Steelz on the outside. Shout out to Mr. TNA, front and center on the corner. If you know, you know, folks, because much like me, there are true the TNA faithful, although my faith has ran rather dry for quite a while. And again, what would it mean for Mara Sadé, just putting that out there, to beat a former TNA Knockouts World Champion? It'd not only be the biggest win of her young TNA career, it'd be the biggest win of her young career, period. As she's only been involved in this business for 3 years. For those that don't know, Mara Sadé is trained out of the WWE Performance Center with no prior wrestling experience. Crossed the line earlier, literally last year. Nice sling blade. Sling blade there by Mara Sadé, looking to follow through. Steelz right now might be in trouble here. Sadé on the move, just throwing her body in the corner. Just lunging forward with that forearm right now, and Tasha Steelz, the verbal, stopping a mud hole in her. And Tasha Steelz, of course, first arrived in TNA, feuding with the lesser Nemeth before kicking his butt in an Albuquerque street fight and focusing on pursuits for the Knockouts World Championship. With the Enziguri able to duck underneath, Tasha Steelz, Mara Sadé's bad blood actually started back in February at No Surrender when these two cost each other that Knockouts Battle Royal. Oh, man, what a power bomb! Sit out, 2 kick out by Tasha Steelz. Wow, great resilience being shown here by Mother. The Weekwa Badass, as of course we all know her as when she first came in here. And as her old fame used to say, she will truly do whatever it takes. Inaugural, of course, Ultimate X winner in the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. Oh, man, jumping net breaker. Now those dropping the arm, the cover, and gets a 2 count. Of course, used that opportunity to beat Mickie James for her only Knockouts World Championship. And now Tasha Steelz trying to submission, center of the ring, almost a modified brutalizer. Referee all over this right now, but Mara Sadé refusing to tap out, refusing to capitulate, refusing to give up. Knowing again, this is one and done. You lose, you are eliminated. Trying to reverse the pressure, shoulders down on Tasha Steelz. Forces Tasha to break the hold. Ooh, good pump kick. Steelz and Mara Sadé have shaped each other more than most knockouts that have crossed the line this year and been originals here in TNA. Speaking up a second. Oh, man! And caught with a super kick. Perfectly timed by Mara Sadé. Looking to channel her inner extremist up to the top rope. Oh! And Tasha Steelz stopping her on the ascent. Now Mara Sadé hung up in the tree of woe. And watch out for Tasha. Whoa! Great cord stream. And Tasha went face first in the bottom turnbuckle. Disaster for Tasha. Critical moment here for Mara Sadé. Looking to fly with the beautiful top rope moonsault to advance. And Mara Sadé advances in the tournament. The biggest win in Mara Sadé's young, and I kid you not, 5-month-long TNA career, hitting a former TNA Knockouts World Champion and eliminating Tasha Steelz from this tournament with a picture-perfect top rope moonsault. Center of the ring on the TNA logo, Mara Sadé advances to the quarterfinals. Oh, wait a minute. When Mustafa Ali and Special Zero from behind, we saw what happened with Jacob Stone. And right now, I'm figuring a contemplating here, and Mustafa Ali pulling out his smartphone, and I wonder who Ali's calling here. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and look at the updated bracket. As you see, Mara Sadé has advanced to the quarterfinals. She will face either Heather by Elegance or the Bunny Allie. That match still to be determined tonight on TNA Impact. Congratulations to Mara Sadé, though. That's a great win. As, of course, we talk about championship opportunities here, there are other championship opportunities with the cornerstone of TNA. That is the X Division. As we will have another fun X Division 6-way scramble match, and this will determine a new number contender to Sade Alexander's X Division Championships. We're backstage with BDE and Rich Swann. And BDE, of course, right now, talking with Rich Swann, and BDE has yet to win a singles match, by the way, folks. In fact, he has yet to win a match in TNA. Rich Swann, you're pretty up there, dude. Coming up next, the 6-way for the X Division Championship number contendership. We'll be after this commercial break, as we will see the hometown man, Jason Hotch, Rich Swann, BDE, the other dude, and Fabian Aichner. It looks like we're actually going to get right into the action, not go to a commercial break, as we got this disturbing sight on my screen. Just going to breathe, 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 just going to breathe. Anyway, we're moments away from a 6-way dance. These matches have defined TNA wrestling when it comes to determining number one contenders and breakout stars for the division that is truly defined by no limits. This freaking thing. Yeah, I've officially lost brain cells and wasted primary seconds of my life. Like I said, if that other knockouts match doesn't go its way, you guys can kiss me adieu covering the rest of this thing and covering TNA until lockdown. The Elegance gave us a performance that was not even worthy of the red light district in Las Vegas on freaking Sunday night. But BD, who believes that he could literally do everything, has yet to do anything yet here in TNA wrestling. And I'm hopeful for the young man. I honestly am, despite the fact he's a YouTube social media influencer. And BDE also wanted the newer talents to cross the line. Been part of TNA wrestling since last year's Bound for Glory, ironically enough. Approaching his 1-year anniversary with the company after getting his head dropped by freaking Eric Young. You know, I never heard of somebody that's come from so many different hometowns, except the hometown man who wears champion's Knicks jersey. This guy's got more screws loose than Showtime Eric Young when he lost his marbles and was freaking the champion of ODB. Well, I mean, we are in Albany, New York, so you might as well be a fan of the Knicks. Again, I don't watch any other sport besides wrestling, so that's, to me, is indifferent. So, don't give a damn about basketball. Imagine this guy being number one contender, though, for the freaking X Division title. The hometown man will sell his hometown going after the championship. It does seem like it writes itself. Speaking of people that are trying to write their own legacies, this guy should have already been a singles champion here in TNA Wrestling. If you know, you know, folks. Toledo, Ohio, represent my hometown, Jason Hotch. In you, I trust to be a future face of the X Division. Y'all should have been the damn tag champions anniversary. Sorry, folks, a little bit biased. Jason Hotch, of course, came in with an eyelash alongside John Schuyler, seizing the TNA tag team titles. And of course, here's a man, the only man in this match, familiar with the X Division Championship, as not only a former TNA World Champion, but a former TNA X Division Champion. Can you handle this as Rich Swann is looking to get back to the top of this division? And of course, Rich Swann, one of the surprises that son of my gun, Santino Marella, brought forward at Slammiversary to take on Mustafa Ali for the TNA International Championship alongside Uwa Nation, former Apollo Crews, who has also joined the TNA locker room. Vini Vidi Vici. As I got Italian in my blood, part of me wants to see this guy succeed. I don't know if being a gladiator, though, necessarily means that you will be the king's favor, but nonetheless, Vini Vidi Vici, Fabian and Aichner, who decided to cross the line after Cedric Alexander beat Leon Slater for that X Division Championship, and of course, made his in-ring debut at Slammiversary in that Ultimate X match. With that being said, we now have another commercial break, so you know what I'm going to do. Have streaming services, and this stream will continue when TNA Impact returns on our screens. So stay tuned. And we're already back here at TNA Wrestling Tonight with this match. It looks like they're trying to psych me out here. All right. Well, hey, as long as you're dealing with action, then, hey, maybe I don't have to worry about doing the commercial break here. As we're immediately underway here, as of course, is episode 148 of TNA Wrestling. BDE and Rich Swann starting things off here. O'Connor roll, cover, push off. The drop down, and right now, not even wasting time here. The drop down, cartwheel escape, and Rich Swann and BDE, who have mutual respect with each other, was working alongside Trey McGill against Mustafa in the order 4. Oh, right on press, the 1 count here. Skip up, stalemate. Swann and BDE can make a pretty damn good tag team right now after this nice little exchange and flurry. And of course, Uwa Nation could also be part of this conversation as well. A pop-off splash dropped down on BDE by the fake Chippendale guy. Surprised I don't see the personal concierge out here, but maybe, again, he got stuck and lost in traffic or someone put him in a box. High-pitch chop by Fabian Aichner. And, of course, the TNA nonstop schedule rolls through lethal lockdown. That will be the next time, though, you will see us one way or another. Oh, wow. Truly cover TNA Wrestling. And, of course, we are on the road to Bound for Glory. That will be October 11th. Nice springboard cross body warming out the hometown man by Fabian Aichner. Fabian Aichner, of course, former member of Imperium. Now springing it up like a cat here. Quite agile for a man that never held the W Cruiserweight Championship. Double under hook. Butterfly suplex off the top, cover, kick out, and broken by BDE as an extra measure. Wow. Now it's rip reverse, and of course the X Division defined by no limit. You got to keep your eyes on everybody in and out of ringside. Up in the fireman's carry. Jason Hotch springing in, though. Watch out, Boatman with the high cross body. Able to cover the distance there. Huge opportunity for Jason Hotch to finally break away from the great hands and prove that he is the better hand. Sidestep up and over. Ooh, jumping into Guri, rocks Fabian and Aichner. And up in the fireman's carry of hometown man, Jason Hotch, the world of trouble, might be sent back to Toledo, up and around in the airplane spin. And right now, there goes the elegant dude. There goes, wow, damn, Rich Swann turned 360. And Hotch dropped with the net breaker after a 720 rotation, excuse me. Rich Swann has no idea what hit him. He just fell on the floor. And the hometown is going wild. Bloody hell. Look out below! Slingshot plunger wiping out Aichner and Hotch. Oh, and now rake of the eyes. And of course, Mr. Elegance, we forgot he was a part of this. Of course, he is part of this company still. And again, you got to be pin or submitted inside the ring. BDE, though, nice triangle drop kick springboard, taking down the Chippendale man. And BDE soars. Gets caught, though, on the tope. Oh, man, and driven face first into the ring post. Again, no countouts, no disqualifications. First pinfall submission inside the ring. You are the new number one contender to Slater Alexander's X Division Championship. Twisting moonsault off the second by Rich Swann, wiping out everybody here. As the X Division has truly shown what has defined the legacy of TNA Wrestling since its genesis, going back to the phenomenal AJ Styles, and of course, TNA now Hall of Famer bound Amazing Red. Amongst so many other great names, whether it was Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Speedball Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander, TJ Perkins, Suicide. And again, going after the eyes here. Doing whatever he can. Trevor Lee, formerly known as Cameron Grimes. Low key. Now Jason Hotch. Oh, man! Swann connected with the overhead body press on Aichner while freaking Elegant Man took a powerbomb and Hotch took everybody out. And this is what TNA is all about. Oh, covered by Hotch on Swann. Gets a 2 count. Of course, Rich Swann and Hotch fixture 1-1 IWR. Covered by Hotch again. Gets a 2 count. The Elegant Man. Damn it. Oh, wait a minute. Hometown man trying to take advantage here. Deep roll, but Hotch gets a 2 count. Again, it's not about weight limits. It's about no limits. Oh, what a right hand. And right now, hometown man looking for maybe a sliced bread. Hotch able to escape, though. Up and under. Oh! Belly kick rocking the hometown man. Rich Swann with the handspring. Cutter! Build the ring. Cover. 2, and the Elegant dickhead broke it up. Wow. Great time as much as I hate this guy. Spinning Sobot dropped to his knees. Pop up. And again, con the clutches. Standing switch exchange now between Rich Swann and Elegant Fool. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? Oh! Good grief. Women PDE, split leg frog splash. Fabian Aichner, though. Hoisted up, PDE. Last right, power bomb. Cover, 2. Fabian Aichner is the new number one contender. Send a PDE as high as the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. Kissing his chances of Riva Danci. Fabian Aichner now has a guaranteed shot at the X Division Championship. Non-stop action from the get-go here with what I fear was going to be the most competitive match of tonight for the X Division as the cornerstone of TNA Wrestling. If you don't know, it's again, Vini Vidi Vici, high last ride power bomb. BDE sent back to YouTube after that impact. Whew. Fabian Aichner and Cedric Alexander for the X Division Championship. That's sure to be an instant classic. And that being said, Cedric Alexander, of course, who's training like a thief in the night. After you look at the injury report presented by Survival Studios, all 4 teams suffered a lot of injuries and damages during that 4-way ladder match as Bear Bronson and Dutch crashed through 4 damn tables at the top of the ladder as the Hardys seized the tag team titles. Also, the personal concierge, he is out because he's blinded thanks to Rosemary's toxic miss. What a shame. May he never be seen again. Doctors and medical, of course, are currently checking on this man to see if his vision will be restored. And TNA will keep us informed, but I certainly will not. I hope I never see him again. We also saw, of course, Trey Miguel. He's still been out since that ridiculous match with Mustafa Ali after that meteor with the double knees literally blew his patella out, and of course has been recovering from surgery. There is no due window right now before the 419 man is clear to return again. And Eddie Edwards, who is speared with his wife through a table with a chain-linked moose full throttle, he has been cleared to compete tonight, despite the fact he is not 100%. And that is your injury report, courtesy of Simple Alpha Studios. Presented here at the Simple Alpha Studios. Whew, man. And of course, Nick Nemeth, he wants to tell you that he's in peak condition. This is not an injury report. This is just literally a statistic. As the champ again, gloats, gloats, gloats. Okay, this has been the injury report, but that wasn't an injury report. That was just an egomaniac. And Ricky Sosa, of course, who's looking forward. All right, why is Flop Dollar on my screen? Sosa, don't fly first class. Stay coach. Ricky Sosa. Yeah, thank you. Bang, bang, and also FU Flop Dollar. Coming up next, Ricky Sosa in action. And apparently actually coming out to address the audience here, maybe on what his future will be in TNA Wrestling. As we have another commercial break, and I will see you on the other side of this commercial break. F streaming services. Stay tuned. Ricky Sosa will grace our screens next here tonight on TNA Impact. Welcome back, everybody, to TNA Wrestling. We are backstage with the Order 4. Mustafa Ali saying that he's going to get the Great Hands an opportunity. He just needs to do one thing for him, and that is win. And Mustafa Ali's right. Tasha Steelz and the Great Hands have not had strong winning ways for a long period of time. Obviously, Hotch and Steelz lost in the crawl of Mustafa Ali. I almost wonder who was on the phone with him. Let's go ahead and welcome one of the newest rising stars to sign on the dotted line, to cross the line, Ricky Sosa from Brussels. Of course, with that win over Eric Young. Not going to lie, his theme is a bop. Been in the ring already with Andrade El Idolo prior to being in TNA Wrestling. Has also been involved in House of Glory. Take a look at the countdown, if you will, folks. The Slammiversary was moved to the countdown, I guess, after his Blue Thunder bang! Modified Blue Thunder bomb gave Ricky Sosa the win over the world-class Mania, being a former TNA Grand Slam champion. And I guess now Ricky Sosa has drawn the attention of Flop Dog, who might be looking to own Ricky Sosa, much like he tried to own freaking Elijah, who thankfully got his IP and his intellectual property back. This feels better than Trick Williams. I said what I said. Now, Ricky Sosa, of course, still very young in this business. Changes in the air with Mike Santana and Eric Young no longer here. What's next for Mr. Bang Bang, who was introduced to us by Chris Bay? Well, Albany, very familiar territory, of course, that Ricky Sosa has competed in. So far, he's just saying it's feeling great to be here. It's typical stuff. For those that don't know, Ricky Sosa is 21 years old. He's been involved in this business for only 4 years and has already taken the world by storm with his incredible in-ring athleticism. Primarily have been involved in GCW, WXW, promotions across the pond, as well as, of course, Bodyzoid. Has only been involved in TNA for 3 matches. Ricky Sosa was actually in a match recently against Amazing Red at House of Glory. I suggest you all go watch that, by the way, in the archives. House of Glory Inferno. I just came into TNA. This is just the beginning. Well, yeah, you've only been here literally for a cup of coffee, dude. You've been here since June 6th. Yeah, the people talking about the stress, about the pressure. The only thing that was remaining was Bang, Bang, Sosa, Sosa. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know about Bang Bang, but I do know Snap Snap. Do what I'm saying, man? The Righteous are here. What does the Righteous want to do with Ricky Sosa? Dutch saying Ricky Sosa is a once-in-a-lifetime signing. What a crown worn by freaking Vincent, by the way. Barbed wire garden. The whispers. It waits. Most people spend their lives knowing they never knew what they were supposed to come. Right to say we don't create greatness, we reveal it. Yeah. And with that being said, just look at the Hardys. They were already legends, man. The world fought the story had already been written. And we found them. Not to destroy them. But the show, there was the new chapter already open. What the hell are you talking about? Ricky, on your own limits. with the righteous, there aren't any. We are many. Dig what I'm saying? Oh, it's a unique fight, but if you want to talk about many, talk about the system. As Alicia Edwards and Eddie Edwards, Bear Bronson, Sid Alexander, and Brian Myers. Oh my gosh, this girl. Do you all want to know something? The most annoying voice I've heard since Vicky Guerrero. You got a lot of her in the talk considering you got speared with your husband by Moose. So apparently everybody's trying to invest in Ricky Sosa. If you go with the system, what? How about you let Ricky Sosa stand on his own and leave him alone? Like, seriously. Eddie Edwards right now talking about the system. Talking about, of course, Bear Bronson saying he made the right choice. He joined the system. And he immediately became a tag team champion. Well, he's right. Of course, Alexander, still the X Division champion. This ring's getting a little bit crowded right now. You almost got freaking fifth of the TNA locker room in it. Like a feed for the night, grabbing it while I was hung in the balance. And they always ask Ricky Sosa, does he want to become a world champion? Or would you rather join a cult? And Vincent saying all he sees is empty promises. And the only reason the system wants you on the set is because they see you as a threat. The system are weak. Even though they say rather die. It's meaningless, man. Especially when their actions are just throwing the towel. Damn! Accurate. Ricky Sosa right now speaking. Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. The righteous? Yeah, my answer is no. I don't know why you're laughing. Because my answer is no. Is hell no to the system. Hell no to the system and no to the righteous. Ricky Sosa looks to go at it alone. The only one let myself with is every TNA fan let me be. Oh, man! And Bear Bronson just clocked Ricky Sosa as Bronson and Dutch go eye to eye, face to face. Battle of the Behemoths might be for coming. Oh! And Ricky Sosa trying to attack the system. And now the system literally mauling Ricky Sosa as the righteous. Abandoned ship. And wait a minute. Leon Slater, who said, wow, man, what a jumping kick. He's looking to beat the scum tonight on his proverbial ladder to become the face of the TNA, spraying inside, and immediately going after the X Division champion. It's all breaking down here tonight. And Slater is walked and locked out by Bear Bronson with a lariat. And now Bear Bronson attacking Leon Slater. Ricky Sosa being attacked by Eddie Edwards. The numbers a game too much right now for Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa here. An absolute clubbing 4-on-2 right now by the system. Again, it's hard to fight the system when you don't have the numbers game. As Eddie Edwards believes the system has all the power despite the fact they have nothing but defeats, with the exception of Sid Alexander. Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater dropped here. And now the question is, how will Leon Slater be in any condition to compete later tonight? Will he still go one-on-one with this scumbag, Eddie Edwards? And of course, to the come tonight, Ryan Nemeth goes one-on-one with Case Navarro as Nick Nemeth looks to put his boys in line. And of course, the TNA Knockouts World Television Tournament continues as this way the match of the finals, what I bid you all find that do, because it's time for Headed by Elegance versus the Bunny, Allie, where the person will advance to face Mara Sadé in the quarterfinals. Up next here on TNA Wrestling Impact Wrestling Tonight after this commercial break. And I will see you all after this commercial break concludes. Ladies and gentlemen, Elijah. With a smoking gun guitar. Same with his image, his likeness, his music. Da 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 da. Talking about how he and Flopdar met at Summiversary. Try to steal a story, but couldn't steal a song. Got it all back. Night this guitar too. Literally a smoking gun in his hand, a smoking guitar with lights through it. That's definitely a unique instrument. Not singing. TNA Gold, dreams ahead for him. Of course, in TNA, we walk this way. Elijah looks to walk away forward to a golden opportunity. Let's go to Mackenzie Mitchell, though, as we continue for the TNA Knockouts Television Tournament. Here we go. Heather Elegance being accompanied by Maggie Lee, also known as M by Elegance, the former TNA Knockouts World Champion, and arguably one of the tallest, not the tallest athlete in the TNA Knockouts locker room, as the Elegance brand tries to rebound from Summiversary after they finally lost the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships for the non-existent division. And apparently Heather running down her resume here to become the first ever TNA Knockouts TV champion. Heather, forever reckless for all it's worth. She's had an impressive run here in TNA, an impressive record. But I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Fucking kill everybody! Demon X Play for life. As the Hive rejoices with the brand new TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. And I pray to God, brand new inaugural TNA Knockouts Television Champion, the Bunny, Allie, Laura Denise, also known from Canada, alongside her demon, Rosemary, after Demon X Bunny came back to life after Allie died 7 years ago and sent the Elegance brand's run down the rabbit hole so below. Laura Vanessa, Sienna, Miss Maria is what the Elegance brand reminds Allie. I remember that at Bygone Life. I love when Allie wants to rip someone's face off. Tonight's opportunity to remind everyone, I'm Allie, and I'm here to be a champion. Hi, Allie. And Heather immediately on the attack. Freaking sore loser. Demon let her get out of her jacket, trying to assault her from behind. And about to say, trying to get the jump on her opponent here. And of course, Rosemary and Maggie Lee in the respective corners. Driving her down face first in the turnbuckles. Of course, it was literally Heather that got pinned by the Bunny that allowed Demon X Blade to earn a shot at the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. And thankfully, they won them at Summiversary. Hard Irish Whip. I mean, how do you call yourself a champion if you don't defend it for 3 months? Who are you, part-time Roman Reigns? And Allie, ran again with a clothesline. Didn't take her head off, though. And of course, both teams, Teddy Specialist, what a sliding forearm. Yeah, about to say, the Bunny, some might say have a few screws loose, but bunnies, you know, they never were always one to follow a code besides the Fibonacci. And right now, Allie on the move! Shotgun drop kick! Turning Heather Reckless inside out. And of course, Allie is a former TNA Knockouts World Champion as well. Bunny Chance spinning out loud and proud. I'm so happy to hear that. Of course, Demon X Bunny right now. You figure about the fact that Mara Sadé advanced. How fitting would it be to see her on the other side of this match? And that very well could happen if Allie wins here. Oh, stun gun across the top rope by Heather, though, taking advantage of Allie and finding an opportunity to regroup here. Of course, Heather's shortest athlete in the TNA locker room. Her freaking leverage probably plays to her advantage. And of course, the Bunny Allie coming off debilitating back injuries and wars of mentality as her demon tries to once again re-encourage the Bunny. Count to 5 right now by Frank Cousteau, and Heather could advance via count out here if the Bunny Alley does not get back in the ring and just beats the 10 count. Still to come to 9 side. Brookside, of course, will grace the stage, our brand new TNA Knockouts World Champion. For those that don't know, Allie previously held this title back in 2018 for a second time. She is a 2-time TNA Knockouts World Champion. And also, our main event tonight will still be Leon Slater versus Eddie Edwards, as we'll see if Slater can beat the system and start his proverbial rung up that ladder to the TNA World Championship, as he still has his eyes set on Cedric Alexander. Now, Heather taking advantage here on the move, driving her boots into the shoulder blades of the Bunny across the second rope. Cover out the far leg, kick out, and kick out at 2. And Maggie arguing with the official. Imagine the Elegance brand bringing another fucking belt to their own stable for a first time ever endeavor, nonetheless. I guess as long as it's not Ash, I'll think about 1% of it being good. Oh, big uppercut by Heather, though. Hooking the head of Allie. Snapmare. And now the sleeper hold applied, and Heather's been very smart here, working over the neck. As the audience boos the Elegance brand back to the bargain bin. Rosemary, of course, former TNA World Champion in her own right. Long-standing knockout here since 2017 when Decay graced this stage. And the moment that the Bunny has a little bit of momentum, Heather shut her down when it mattered. Now dragging the Bunny to the corner. And stepping over, Allie might be looking for that step up out of the second. Moonsault, but it's nothing but canvas. Great maneuver. High risk, though, leads to no reward as Maggie Lee realizes the urgency for her partner in Heather. And Allie, of course, has been involved in this business, believe it or not, for 21 years, nearly 40 years of age. Formerly out of Smash Wrestling, of course, against Courtney Rush in a bygone life when Demon vs. Slayer was born. Previous identity, Cherry Bomb. Recently, of course, outside excursion in Japan, was involved in, of course, Ring of Honor and CCW. And, of course, previously was part of the AEW locker room. And, of course, the co-creator of her own horror podcast in Chainsaw Girls, which you can catch today with her and Sienna. Rising knee strike by that vicious Bunny. And, of course, Tasha Steelz unable to defeat Mara Sadé. Heather Reckless looking for the biggest win of her young TNA career. As the Bunny right now hangs Heather out to dry in the Tarantula. And referee calling for the break before the 5 count here. I know you're Allie. Now win it, damn it. Now, Allie right now going up to the second rope, and men like Elegance trying to get involved here, but the Bunny trying to focus on Heather. Rosemary, though, scouting M by Elegance. Oh, man, drop down hard face first in the apron. Oh! But Heather got the better of Allie. And Heather right now trying to take advantage of this distraction off the top rope. Double stop for the Bunny's heart. Cover 2 and Heather advances. Heather by Elegance just beat Allie. Despite the fucking distraction by that statuesque Barbie doll and by Elegance, the former TNA Knockouts World Champions get the better of Demon X Bunny, who beat them Sundance anniversary, and Heather has punched her ticket one step closer to the Knockouts Championship in this tournament. Fuck! Well, now we know round 1 quarterfinal is set. Mara Sadé will go 1-on-1 with Heather by Elegance. Someone else will be calling that because y'all ain't getting me again after this week. Well, keeping the focus, of course, on champions here. We still have the TNA Knockouts World Champion to come. As again, Allie, good try. Coming up next, Sarah Brookside will make her way to ringside as the Angel of the Ring graces our stage next. The TNA Knockouts World Champion takes center stage next when TNA comes back for this commercial break. And I will see you after this commercial break. And again, Fuck the Elegance brand. We are back here on TNA Thursday Night Impact. I was welcome in the brand new TNA Knockouts World Champion, whether you like it or not. The Angel of the Ring, who has unleashed her dark side, has finally won her first World Championship, the cornerstone of the Knockouts, the TNA Knockouts World Title. And of course, you can watch that back on demand on the TNA Plus app. It was this person at Slimmer version, an exposed turnbuckle, drop down, involuntarily by Xia Brookside, but absolutely intentional as Layling Lee got KO'd, and the dark side DDT led to the rise of Xia Brookside to the title, as she left everything behind to carve her own path out of her father's namesake, to carve her own name in the history books. Now part of the TNA Knockouts World Championship legacy. I hate to say it. See what you got to say here tonight. Actually, no, I don't. I told you so. Told you Laylee was selfish. Told you she was holding me back. As long as I was standing shout, no one would get to see how good exactly I am. I mean, it's a hell of an endorsement when you back it up, though, with me. And look at me now. Besides saying she was right about everything, well, actions speak louder than words, as she is the new TNA Knockouts World Champion. Stands on her own alone. It's lonely at the top, but you do what you gotta do to get there. I don't blame her for it, honestly. Been following this young woman's career since NXT UK. Lee, I hope some adversity taught you a lesson. I told you. Wah, 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 people. I told you this division doesn't belong to you. This title belongs to me. And let that be a warning to every woman in the Knockouts division. Wow. If you try to come into me and my title, I would do whatever it takes to hold on to it. Selfish intentions for someone that got her own crown. And uh-oh. Well, clearly, Xia Brookside's past is not done with her yet, as Layling Lee makes her way to the stage. Something tells me these two are not going to be doing each other's anniversary. Besides that, I would be happy for you. Happy we wrestle for each other at the TNA Knockouts World title. Happy for you becoming a new champion. Yeah. But now, after all you've done to me, I sense rematch. After what you did to win that title, I mean, circumstances. I look at you. I don't see a champ. I see a fake bitch. Damn. Well then. The nerve. Fake bitch chance running out here in the Impact Zone. Oh boy. Say it now. You're the one with everything to lose. I have my championship rematch. It will happen next week on Impact. Whoa! And Xia went for a cheap shot. Gets to the mid-set after missing the title. And now hoisted out positive fighter strong. Oh boy. Trying to get the hell out of Dodge. Get out of there, Xia. And Laylee defiantly telling Xia, you want a weapon? Fine. Let's make it no DQ. Xia Brookside defends the TNA Knockouts World Championship next week against Layling Lee in a no disqualification match. Once again, these two are locked in Mortal Kombat. The fury of Layling Lee and the selfish pride of Zaya Brookside collide once again over the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And anything goes. As we go backstage with Daria Ray, with Mustafa Ali. Some people think you owe me an apology. What? But you think you owe me a favor. And Mustafa Ali trying to lobby a favor here at Daria Ray. Give the Grey Hands one more opportunity for the TNA Tag Team Championships. And Daria Ray reminding him of the suit. Going to do a TNA Tag Team match. Sounds great. Next week, done. And apparently, handshake deal. Daria Ray has made it official. The Hardys will defend the Tag Team Championships next week against the Great Hands. The Great Hands get one more shot to rise to the occasion. And speaking of rise to the occasion, let's see if Case Navarro can put down the cheaper Nemeth as we get ready for this, and I do mean in the most polite way, unique exhibition match. Now, of course, Case Navarro, for those that don't know, why the fact he was out on injury before he was reduced to trash class with Flop Dollar, he actually did ask Nick Nemeth to help him and train him. And Nick Nemeth was willing to do that. Coming up next, Ryan Nemeth, the loser, takes on Case Navarro after this commercial break when TNA Impact returns. And we'll see you when TNA Impact returns. We are back here at TNA Impact tonight as the lesser Nemeth takes on Casey Navarro as Nick Nemeth looks to put these boys to school and have them work better together as Nick Nemeth, the TNA World Champion, will be out here, probably on commentary, if nothing else, to see if Ryan Nemeth can actually beat Casey Navarro. And welcome back, everybody, to Subaba Studios and our coverage here of TNA Impact. Bringing you a little bit of TNA live watch-along eventing, despite the fact this is a pre-recorded show. Again, thank you for being hashtag spoiler-free, as I always live by as well. Protect your mentality. As, of course, we decided to cover at least the opening days of the TNA Knockouts Television Championship Tournament. As far as going forward, you're going to have to pay me, JJ. So, again, TNA here, folks, tonight. We've already seen Xia Brookside confronted by Ling Lee, and she will defend the TNA Knockouts World Championship against her next week in a no disqualification match. The bell rings are underway here as Nick Nemeth has aspirations for Ryan Nemeth and Casey Navarro to become champions here in TNA. Whether together or on their own merit, he just wants these two to quit bickering like children or stooges, if not both. And Casey Navarro comes off the blessed one, side headlock, front off of the ropes, and Ryan Nemeth the sidestep here. Trying to cause, of course, distractions every chance he gets. Nice sling blade here in Casey immediately into the cover. It's a 2 count. And, of course, we saw Ryan Nemeth play instrumental this past Sunday at Slammiversary. Probably was Nick Nemeth's strategy to make sure he got involved in the TNA World title match to distract Mike Santana for Nick Nemeth to hit him with that trophy and make him literally lose as much blood as he can before his heart flatline, and he took him into the danger zone. Oh, man, hard rip-off out of the corner. Back first, the top turnbuckle, and Ryan Nemeth taking advantage of Casey Navarro now on the outside. Trying to show off against his big brother with the vicious elbow to the side of the head. But I say, Ryan Nemeth wants to actually prove something. Why don't you actually do something on your own merit besides the fact you want to show off to your big brother? I don't know how wise that was with a vicious net breaker, delayed net breaker on the floor. Yeah, about to say, freaking big brother trying to keep little brother in line. The big brother is supposed to lead by example. And nonetheless, though, again, we will be back recovering TNA August 23rd for Lockdown in Chicago. Cover, look at the far leg. It's a 2 count. And, of course, we're on the road to Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory will be October 11th in Florida. We'll be covering some of the studios. Hopefully. And, of course, TNA Hall of Fame goes in that night. Conan, Amazing Red, and ODB. And also Destination X returns November 15th from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as part of TNA's non-stop schedule this year. And stay tuned, folks, for further details for live watchable events at the Super Reliable Studios. Now, Casey Navarro right now in trouble here as Ryan Nemeth applies the rear naked choke. And, of course, the work done on the neck. And the fact of the matter, though, that Nick Nemeth, again, he is that damn good. We know how damn good he is at Amateur Lively, undefeated at Kent State. He doesn't need these shortcuts. And honestly, he does not need his little brother being the annoying gnat. I feel if nothing else, it distracts Nick worse than helping him, even if he was able to win the title this Sunday. Ryan Nemeth is a pest. It's as simple as that. Most little brothers are pests, mine included. I barely see the man anymore. Average whip. Of course, he's not as pest as much as he used to be. That's what little siblings are. All they are pests to family. Up and around. And Casey Navarro taking Ryan Nemeth down with a tornado DDT. Now goes in the cover. Hook in the far lane to beat the lesser Nemeth. Gets a 2 count, says Referee Frank Gusteau. And for what it's worth, I will say this. That cockroach Ryan Nemeth is a former TNA Tag Team Champion. Of course, taking that from the Hardys at Rebellion last year for losing at the Hardys Slammiversary, saying he's done. Woo! Was looking for that running through swing net breaker sidestep. Showing it first. Casey Navarro into the ring post. And now right now trying to take advantage. Deep roll up too. Got the tights. Almost stole it. Again, another never cheating. Go figure. Casey Navarro showing great resiliency here and defiancy, able to kick out of that dirty deed. Again, Ryan Nemeth wishes he was everything that Nick Nemeth was and then some. Once again, looking to show off here. And Casey Navarro, drop kick. Stun gun, look out across the second rope. Now Casey Navarro looking to push forward. Oh! There's the 305 looking to follow up around the corner. There it is. That is it. Case Navarro wins. And according to Nick Nemeth, now they end this little suave way of bickering. As the Starburst leads to Case Navarro rising to his namesake as the promise with the win here tonight over Ryan Nemeth. Nick Nemeth right now is trying to play peacekeeper, trying to see now if things are settled between the lesser Nemeth and Case Navarro as Nick Nemeth holds up both their hands, or trying to. Yeah, that's really going to work, Nick Nemeth. You're going to have Casey and Ryan actually work together here. I mean, again, for what it's worth, Nick Nemeth did get Ryan Nemeth to shake Casey's hand. But clearly nothing is on even footing here with these three men. Oh, what the hell? Danger zone on Case Navarro. Of course. Of freaking course. But you sure saw that coming as plain as day, Casey. I guess it's true what they say. Blood runs thicker than water. And Ryan never runs thicker with Nick Nemeth than Casey Navarro. Our TNA World Champion. Like a two-faced, narcissistic snake. Stab in the back of Casey Navarro. Teach him a very painful lesson. Don't trust people named Nick Nemeth in this business. Welcome to the future of TNA Wrestling, folks, led by Nick Nemeth and his little brother, the obnoxious lesser Nemeth. But still coming up next on what's been a semi-fun show of TNA Impact to cover you on tonight, Leon Slater goes one-on-one with Eddie Edwards, and you gotta wonder his conditioning following that sneak attack by the system. And I will see you all after this commercial break. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to say it again. F streaming services. And we will get ready for our main event. Stay tuned. Yes, the Broken Hardys apparently now speak as we're back here at TNA Wrestling. As they say, there'll be a senior shot at the GOATs. And Matt Hardy saying that's not a favorite. Jeff Hardy, but a Nero saying that's more of a sacrifice. Of course, the arena full of diehardys. That's their fan base now. Diehardys provide us with strength to carry forward. The diehardys. Together, we exist the frequency of extreme. We are superhumans with a superpower. You're definitely some sort of human. And the guts to accomplish anything here in TNA. Going to see what we are, the TNA World Tag Team Champions. And why we are the greatest tag team of all time. And you'll see what we are, TNA, and it's wonderful. Well, that being said, that's the comment. Next week, the Hardys defend the TNA World Tag Team Championships against the Order 4's Great Hands, Jason Hotch and John Skyler, as well as Zaya Brookside versus Lei Ling Lee in a no disqualification match for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. But now it's time for Leon Slater to see if he can beat the system. And shout out to Downstate, who of course made their theme. Can't beat the system! Well, clearly they could be beaten, as we saw at TNA Slammiversary. A ride or die couple from Boston. And the system that has defined TNA wrestling since the rebirth of those 3 letters, all spearheaded under each version by Eddie Edwards. And of course, just immediately going back into action in the main event nonetheless, after that debilitating defeat against Moose in that no surrender match where his wife gracefully threw in the towel and Moose Spirit both of them through a table. And rightfully so. The fact of the matter, though, that Eddie Edwards offered Ricky Sosa a spot in the system goes to show again how much Eddie Edwards still wants to hold control here in TNA wrestling, and believes he still does. As the youngest in charge lands down in the impact zone, getting ready for a huge opportunity in what he's calling his first rung on the proverbial ladder to the TNA World Championship, to become the new face of TNA. Leon Slater, of course, part of the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. Of course, we gotta wonder again how he feels after that assault from earlier on tonight. Freaking Bear Bronson decking him in the next week. Of course, Leon Slater will never show you any vulnerability. This youngest OG in charge of TNA wrestling already has made multitudes of history at the age of only 21 years old. This match is next, folks, here on TNA Impact, our main event tonight. Oh, man, I've been high five. I don't think he got it. Clearly, the people of Albany, New York, the Impact Zone, the Impact Faithful. This is interesting. Giving Leon Slater a bit more of his entrance here, it looks like, leaping forward with these high fives. As, of course, Leon Slater believes that he can be future TNA World Champion material. And again, many folks, including me, probably thought he was going to use option C to maybe cash in on a chance for the TNA World Championship, which makes me wonder, the fact that he wants the Estes title from Cedric Alexander, could we still see him pursue that avenue towards the world title? Or could this be the first time he only focuses on TNA World Championship caliber opponents, improving a point, especially considering he's already beaten Nick Nemeth? Gotta figure that. I think he's already beaten Eddie Edwards one-on-one previously in singles action. Leon Slater was one of the most dangerous beings ongoing earlier this year at No Surrender in a star-studded tag team match with the X-Division TNA World Champion at the time, Mike Santana, tagged together, and it turned into a 2-on-1 as Leon Slater outlasted Eddie Edwards and Nick Nemeth that night. No excuses with the fact that he lost some adversity. Just keep moving forward and create a new opportunity here in TNA wrestling. And again, folks, next week we have the Hardys versus the Great Cans for the TNA World Tag Team Championships, and Zaya Brookside will defend the gold against Lei Ling Lee, TNA Knockouts World Champion on the line, in a no disqualification match. That and so much more coming forward next week on TNA Impact. Apparently, Alicia Edwards has a microphone now. We're wasting airtime here. Pathetic loser. I don't think she's looked at herself in the mirror. Alicia literally saying to the fans, you should be cheering for my husband. Yeah, not. Everybody shut your mouth. You're going to chant for my husband. Not. Oh, Leon Slater trying to get a cheap shot in. There we go. Play the theme. Why not? Play his theme again. If it shuts Alicia Edwards up, yeah, but keep playing Leon Slater's theme. I'm fine with it. It's still better music than Def Rebel. Then again, any company's got better music than Def Rebel. Man, the definition of a Karen is Alicia Edwards, if I've ever heard one, but a screeching Karen, that's just a double whammy of a nuisance. About to say music, let's play the music. There we go, play the music again. You know what? The people in the truck, they know what they're doing. I'm for it. Yeah, about to say, people probably literally just freaking have their own stroke down the street, if not getting up out of bed to this type of theme. Again, still the kind of night. Leon Slater versus Eddie Edwards, one-on-one. We got a commercial break. Fuck streaming services. We'll see you when TNA Impact returns. And happy 4th of July weekend, everybody, as our TNA Wrestling main event is underway. And Leon Slater immediately starting off hot out of the gates here. This is our main event tonight. Leon Slater versus Eddie Edwards, as Leon Slater looks to punch his ticket closer towards regaining the X Division Championship and start his journey bound for his own glory in what he hopes to be the TNA World Championship. Funnily enough, Eddie Edwards immediately taking advantage here in the early going. And of course, the system earlier tonight beat down Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater. Gang warfare, 4-on-2, and right now Leon Slater blinded can be part of the conversation. Hashtag TNA Impact, and also follow us at SR Studios 20 for the day on the X to stay tuned. For future watch-alongs across all the biggest PLE specials, pay-per-views across all things wrestling. Handspring back elbow strike. Perfectly executed by Leon Slater. Now going up the ropes again. Big side boot. Drives Eddie Edwards to the outside of the ring. And the fact of the matter, when you've been the face of the X Division for so long, you should want to pursue higher things. Slingshot plunge. Wiping out Eddie Edwards on the outside. Looking for his first big win against a former TNA World Champion and trying to keep that Jezebel away from him at ringside. And of course, Eddie Edwards, a former two-time TNA World Champion. Like I said, Eddie Edwards, a long mainstay of TNA Impact Wrestling, what the hell you want to call it. Slater landing on his feet, speaking so a lot. Bends over Eddie Edwards. Now the Irish whip reversal by Eddie Edwards and Slater. Rebound up the ropes. Eddie Edwards catching him though. And oh man, vicious backbreaker over the knee. Eddie Edwards, of course, as savvy as they come, and also as dangerous as well. Trained, of course, by Killer Kowalski, a former, of course, Impact World Champion 2 times over. TNA World Tag Team Champion 7 times over, multiple times as late with the system. Brian Myers, 2 runs actually with that. And a former, of course, TNA X Division Champion, 2-time X Division Champion, excuse me. And the fact of the matter that Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards made it personal with Moose, bringing his wife and son into the freaking Impact Zone was absolutely unforgivable. He set up his own freaking path to failure, in my opinion. Oh, man, hard Irish whip, whipped off in the turnbuckle pads, up and over. Of course, Eddie Edwards had his fair share of bad fortune and karma butting him in the ass ever since betraying Moose and also betraying his friend JDC in his retirement when he decided to rebuild the system with Bear Bronson and Sid Alexander. Only one of those men have gold right now in the system, might I add. Eddie Edwards right now trying to take advantage of a massive rake down the chest of Leon Slater. Leon Slater, the only win he has against Eddie Edwards, as I informed you before, folks, is in tag team action. Up and over the back body dropped. And now cover. But Eddie Edwards trying to keep the shoulders down. Barely gets a 1 count here. And about to say again, I wonder what Ricky Sosa has figured about all these people confronting him about invest in us. We'll invest in you. We'll see what you're capable of. The system, the freaking righteous, flop dollar. Well, then again, that's worse than trying to, bet your house on the stock market. Eddie Edwards right now using the rope. And now look at Alicia Edwards behind the back, literally trying to take advantage from behind. And Reverend Dan Spencer didn't see a damn thing of it. Nothing's worse than a woman in this business at ringside from Jersey, unless her name is not Deanna Purrazzo. Knife Edge Chop, or Boston at this point. Then again, Boston's full of trash. And right now, Eddie Edwards off. There's a reason the Celtics didn't win the NBA playoffs. Nice scoop slam there, though, by Eddie Edwards, Leon Slater. Of course, Nick Nemeth is all about this freaking madness of shenanigans and underhanded tactics. I just wonder which one's more profitable, a young brother with a fake tan or a Jezebel that's your wife for life. Oh, and again, the 3rd time tonight, someone goes with a top rope moonsault and crash and burns. Eddie Edwards eating nothing but canvas. The freaking story of the night's been the top rope moonsault being everybody's practical undoing, except for Mara Sadé. And right now, looking to capitalize off the TNA faithfuls, Leon Slater, Irish whipped Eddie Edwards off the ropes, hand, spring, got caught again, up and around, lands on his feet though, eats the knife edge chop. Once again, Eddie Edwards rebounds, Leon, and Leon rebounds with his own kick. Slater knows how to pick up the momentum when he needs to and find a way to pull out any sort of move. High cross body connects, and the cover off the far leg kick out 2 by Eddie Edwards. Woof. As Leon Slater nearly gets the biggest win of his young career. Again, folks, next week, the Hardys will defend the TNA World Tag Team Championships against the Great Hands And we also know the TNA Knockouts television title tournament will continue as Alicia Edwards goes one-on-one against the Spark, Jada Stone, and Jody Frett goes one-on-one with rising independent talent great Gabby Forza. We also know that the TNA Knockouts World Championship will be on the line as Zara Brooks will defend the gold against Lei Ling Lee in a no disqualification match. Oh, jumping as a girl Eddie Edwards, though, to Leon Slater as our main match continues tonight. Backpack Stunner connects. Deep hook on the near leg. Kick out at 2 by Leon Slater. Nearly putting down the former X Division champion as Eddie Edwards looks to show once again why you should trust the system, which I never will. Eddie Edwards right now might need to really figure about what he needs to do here at this point. What does it take to put away Leon Slater? These two have only faced each other one-on-one one other time, and it was back in February last year. Eddie Edwards won that night. As Leon Slater looks to punch his road forward out of the starting blocks and go after the TNA World Championship. Double underhook. Tiger Driver, high stack 2, no, by the former GHC champion. Double underhook again, looking for another Tiger Driver, sit out, cover 2, and kick out by Leon Slater again. Whoa. 2 high impact moves, back-to-back covers, and Leon Slater survives the both of them. Eddie Edwards once again being reminded what TNA really represents versus what he wants TNA to represent for the system and what Leon Slater has been bringing forward to TNA Wrestling since being here outside being SVG champion. Up and around, thunder bomb release, carrying the Boston Knee Party. Edwards freaking Boston Knee Party, but once again, Alicia Edwards up on the ropes and Dale Spencer distracted here. It's Alexander, high cross binds SVG champion. And a high leg lariat as Alicia was trying the official. Eddie Edwards trying to capitalize though. Inside cradle. He's got the tights. Eddie Edwards steals it. A complete team effort by the system tonight as Alexander immediately back on the attack against Leon Slater, who is hell-bent on regaining the X Division Championship. And now the system all over Slater here. Oh, wait a minute. Ricky Sosa! Bang! Bang! Slater and Sosa earlier on were double teamed by the system. One double lariat. And Eddie Edwards and Sosa are both wiped out here. Slater back up to his feet. Cedric out of the ring. Sosa wipes Eddie Edwards out of the ring. Man, it looks like literally two sides of the coin there with these two gentlemen, honestly. Youth, potential, explosive capability. Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa clearing the air tonight. I feel like we got a tag team match brewing, players. Sosa season in full swing here in TNA Wrestling as Leon Slater begins his journey to Bound for Glory. But for now, TNA Impact comes to a close as we also come to a close on this special live watch-along event here at the Simply Reliable Studios. For those of you that tune in, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this special watch-along coverage. If you want this next week, let us know in the comments down below or tag us at SR Studios 24. And stay tuned this weekend for the weekly Marvel coverage of the rest of the match. That is the Saturday Shenanigans. Go check out the interview with the firecracker, whatever you want to call her, of course, Kiera Hogan, and that's on period. Check out all the interviews here in the archives, including with the future of wrestling, Brittany Brooks. And until next time, I leave you always with this. I remind you on this 4th of July weekend, stay safe. Happy birthday, America, in advance. Make a positive impact in life. Have a good night, and thank you for bringing your impact forward here tonight with us here at the Simply Reliable Studios. Take care, folks.